I'd like to congratulate Jagmeet Singh on his election as leader of NDP, one of Canada's three major political groups. I happened to be at Brampton's Bombay Palace in May when Jagmeet Singh launched his bid to lead the NDP, and I heard him speaking there. He was speaking fluent French, English and Punjabi, and the content was really impressive. He was speaking about justice, he was speaking about equality, he was speaking about climate change, and the kind of response that he received from his audiences there was overwhelming. Now, in these few months, he has won the leadership of the NDP, defeating his nearest rivals in the race. So that's a matter of a great satisfaction and kind of a psychological boost to the Sikh community worldwide, that someone from their community has risen as head of a national political party, and that too in a country like Canada. Now, the big question here is that can he become Canada's next Prime Minister? So the answer to this question would be that challenges are momentous ahead. It's not a cakewalk. It's a tightrope walk for Jagmeet Singh, rather an uphill battle ahead for him. Reason being, at the moment, his NDP has 44 of the 338 seats in Canadian Parliament. So he has to convince voters that his party can form the next government, although it has never held federal power before. So that's challenge number one, and of course he has to win a seat for himself. Then another challenge is Quebec. Now, Quebec is a French-speaking province in Canada, where overt signs of faith are really frowned upon by the voters there, and Jagmeet Singh is a Sikh, is a practicing Sikh. So Quebec poses another challenge for him. The third challenge is, which I am really worried about, is identity politics. So far he has been a disruptor in Canadian politics with his visibly glaring identity. He has risen to become the president of the NDP, and his politics looks like was based on equality for everyone. But now he might have to step back a bit from the racial rhetoric, and he came out really as a composed man when last month a woman heckler challenged him and tried to disrupt his campaign with her anti-Muslim slurs. He didn't he was very calm and composed, and he said that something on the lines of that we love all, there should be justice for all, everyone in this hall, and he didn't seek to clarify that he was not Muslim, and that really jacked up his stature, and was probably one of the factors that led to his victory in the election of the NDP leadership. Now he has to maintain that posture. He has to come across as more of a Canadian, committed to Canadian values than as a Sikh. Remember, in global politics these days, there is a rise of far right, aggressive far right all over. And that woman who he encountered last month, that yelling may actually develop into some kind of more disparagements and disrespects hurled at him because of his identity. So he has to step back from identity politics and speak more about Canadian values, justice and equality. Remember, he has to undercut the core base of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in order to make a place for himself in the campaign for the Prime Minister's office. So I wish him all the best, and I think that he'll be an incredible performer so far as the Canadian federal elections are concerned.